Our objectives in this lesson are the following. Illustrate algebraic expressions and simplify them. But before that, here are the answers in extra problems I gave in our previous lesson. Kindly write if you got it correct in the comment section below. What am I? What do you call these expressions? 7 over 8, 3ac squared over 5bc, x cubed minus x all over x squared minus 5x plus 6. What do you call these expressions? To help you answer, I want you to decode this. This is a rat. Let's write R-A-T. This one here is a lotion. We already have L-O-T, so let us add I-O-N. And this one is a ball. We already have B here, so let us write A and L, and we already have another L here. Now let us combine the letters that we wrote, R-A-T-I-O-N-A-L, rational expressions. But what is rational expression? Rational expression is an expression that can be written as a ratio of two polynomials. Then you might ask me, what then is a polynomial? A polynomial is an algebraic expression involving only positive integer, including 0 as powers of one or more variables, and does not contain a variable in a denominator. So let's have an example. Let's say x. Is x a polynomial? Yes, it is, because it has an invisible exponent of 1, and 1 is a positive integer. Let's have a combination of a constant and a variable, 25x squared. This is a polynomial. The exponent is a positive integer. Next one, let's have x squared minus 9. This is a binomial, two terms. And the exponent is also a positive integer. Negative 9 is just a constant. Let's have 9y to the fourth plus 3y cubed minus 8y squared minus 1. Examine the exponents and they are all positive integers. How about c cubed plus 7c squared minus 6 over 17 of c? Let us examine the exponents. We have 3, 2, and the imaginary 1 here. All are positive integers. But wait, we have a denominator here. However, it says here, does not contain a variable in a denominator. And 17 is just a constant. So this is still a polynomial. How about the constant 13? Is it a polynomial? We can rewrite 13 as 13 times x raised to 0. Can we consider an exponent that is 0? Yes, it says here including zeros as powers of one or more variables. So this is accepted. And we all know that any expression raised to 0 is just 1. And 13 times 1 is 13. Therefore, a constant can be considered as a polynomial. Let's have a quick activity, rational expression or not. To determine if it is a rational expression, the numerator should be a polynomial and the denominator should also be a polynomial. So if you have polynomial divided by a polynomial, then you have rational expression. So x squared plus 3x plus 2 is a polynomial. X plus 4 is also a polynomial. Polynomial divided by a polynomial is a rational expression. Another one, we have said earlier that 1 is a polynomial. And 3x squared, the exponent is a positive integer. This is also a polynomial. So polynomial divided by a polynomial is a rational expression. How about this one? X squared plus 4x minus 3 is a polynomial. And 2 in the denominator is also a polynomial. Therefore, this is a rational expression. How about this? We have the square root of x plus 1 all over x cubed minus 1. If we are going to convert this into rational exponent, this will become quantity x plus 1 raised to 1/2. Now, 1/2 is not an integer. It is a fraction. Remember, an integer is a whole number. So since this is not an integer, our numerator is not a polynomial. Even if our denominator is a polynomial, but our numerator is not a polynomial, therefore this or this is not a rational expression. Last one, we have here 1 all over x plus 2 divided by x minus 2. What we can do here is to simplify this one first. So x minus 2 will go up, multiplied by 1. It will become x minus 2 over x plus 2. Now let us examine. X minus 2 is a polynomial. X plus 2 is a polynomial. Polynomial divided by polynomial is a rational expression. Let's talk more about value of a fraction. For all real numbers, a and b, the following hold true. Number 1, a divided by b is equal to q if and only if a is equal to bq, where b is not equal to 0. Who is b? B is our denominator. Our denominator should never be equal to 0. I'll tell you later why. Now, this happens, a equals b times q, happens when we do cross multiplication. The denominator of q here is the invisible one, so a times 1 is a, and then b times q is bq. That's why a is equal to bq. Let us examine the possibilities. What if a is equal to 0 and b is any real number except 0? Again, a is 0 and b is any real number except 0. So 0 divided by a number, our q is equal to 0. So when you have 0, you have nothing. So when you divide it by anything, you still have nothing. Next, what if our denominator b here is the one that is equal to 0? So meaning any real number divided by 0. Our q then is undefined. That's what happens when the denominator is equal to 0. It becomes undefined. Think about it. You're going to divide something and you're going to divide it by 0. So how is that? So we cannot divide by 0. It is undefined. Last possibility, what if both A and B are zeros? So you have 0 divided by 0. What is the value of your Q then? It is indeterminate. You will learn more about this term when you reach college. Number 2, a divided by b is equal to a times 1 over b. Again, our b, which is our denominator, cannot be equal to 0. So what happened here is we just isolate our numerator, which is a. We isolate it, and then we multiply it by 1 over b. So when we isolate a, what is left in the numerator is the invisible 1. So we multiply it by 1 and then copy our denominator. For instance, we have 4 over 5. We can rewrite it as 4 times 1 over 5. Here are fundamental principles of a fraction. Let A, B, C, and D be real numbers. Number 1, A divided by B is equal to C divided by D. If and only if AD is equal to BC. So this happens when we cross multiply. So it means two fractions are equal if their cross products are equal. Number 2, A divided by B is also equal to A times K divided by B times K, where K is not equal to 0. What happened here is we just multiply our numerator and denominator by the same non-zero digit. Just like in number 3, but this time we divide both our numerator and denominator by the same non-zero digit. So for numbers 2 and 3, it only means that the value of a fraction does not change if both numerator and denominator are multiplied or divided by the same non-zero number. Let us dig deeper. I got three signs. There are three signs associated with a fraction: the sign of the numerator, the sign of the denominator, and the sign of the fraction itself. In symbols, a divided by b can be written in three different ways. We could write negative as a sign of the fraction and one negative in the numerator. Negative times negative will give us positive, so it will return to a over b. Or we can write negative as a sign of the fraction and another negative in the denominator. Negative times negative is also positive, so it will return as a over b. Or we could write the numerator as negative a and the denominator as negative b. Negative over negative is positive is still equal to a over b. Let us try to answer this. Write three rational expression, each equivalent to the given rational expression. We have negative 1/3. I could rewrite this as negative 1 over 3. So the negative of the fraction, I let it carried by my numerator. Or I can let it carried by the denominator. Or I could make it both numerator and denominator, and the sign of the fraction is also negative. So negative over negative is positive, and positive times negative is negative. Another one, we have 3 minus 4x all over 2 minus x. I will factor out first the negative here. So it will become negative quantity 4x minus 3. Quick check. Let us distribute this negative sign. Negative to 4x is negative 4x. Negative to negative 3 is positive 3. So they are equal. I could also put this negative sign as the sign of my fraction. So I'll put it here at the middle. It's here. And then I could also factor out the negative in my denominator and put again this negative in my numerator like this one. So I'll make my numerator like this again, and in my denominator, I'll factor out the negative. So I have the negative quantity 4x minus 3 all over negative quantity x minus 2. Three rational expressions, all equivalent to the original rational expression. Let's have an activity. Sana all na-reduce. Reduce the following fractions to its lowest term. First one, 12 over 15. Both are divisible by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. So 12 over 15 is the same as 4 over 5. Another one, 45 over 27. Both are divisible by 3. 45 divided by 3 is 15. 27 divided by 3 is 9. 15 and 9 are both divisible by 3 again. 15 divided by 3 is 5, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. So 45 over 27 is equal to 5 over 3. Next one, 64 over 56. Both of these are divisible by 2. 64 divided by 2 is 32. 56 divided by 2 is 28. Again, even numbers, both are divisible by 2. 32 divided by 2 is 16. 28 divided by 2 is 14. Again, even numbers, both divisible by 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8, and 14 divided by 2 is 7. So this means 64 divided by 56 is equal to 8 over 7 in lowest term. Last one, 100 over 16. Both are divisible by 2. 100 divided by 2 is 50. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Again, we can divide numerator and denominator by 2. 50 divided by 2 is 25, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So that is how we reduce to lowest term. This time, we are going to simplify not just numerical fractions, but rational expressions. To do that, we need the knowledge we have learned in our previous lessons, the factoring techniques. Let's start with 7x plus 35. We can factor out 7. So this will become 7 times the quantity x plus 5. In here, we can factor out x, so this will become x times the quantity x plus 5. And we have here a common factor. We can now cancel it. So our final answer is 7 over x. Next one, this is a trinomial where a is equal to 1. The factors of this are quantity x plus 4 times quantity x minus 1. While this one, the denominator, quantity x minus 5 times quantity x plus 4. If you are having trouble determining the factors, you may go back to our previous lessons. We have discussed this thoroughly. Okay, now let's look for common factors. We have x plus 4 here and also in here. Let us cancel them. So we have x minus 1 over x minus 5. Next one, we have 7 minus y all over y minus 7. In here, let me factor out the negative. So I could rewrite it as y minus 7. So that will become negative 1 times quantity y minus 7. Quick check. Negative 1 times y is negative y. Negative 1 times negative 7 is positive 7. So this is one way to rewrite this expression without changing its value. Let us copy the denominator. And now we can see that we have common factors, so let us cancel them. Therefore, the final answer is negative 1. Try this. Let us simplify this rational expressions. For the numerator here, I can factor out x, so this will become x times the quantity 2x plus 1. While in here, I could also factor out x, so this will become x times 3x plus 2. X and x here can be cancelled out, so our final answer is 2x plus 1 all over 3x plus 2. Next one, this is a trinomial and the factors are quantity y plus 1 times y plus 2. And this is a difference of a binomial and the factors are quantity y plus 1 times quantity y minus 1. So we have common factors. Let us cancel them. Our final answer is y plus 2 all over y minus 1. Next one, again, this is a difference of two squares. So the factors are quantity a plus 3 times quantity a minus 3. While this one here is a trinomial and the factors are quantity a plus 5 times quantity a minus 3. We can cancel a minus 3. So our final answer is a plus 3 all over a plus 5. Let us do extra challenge. Again, let us simplify this rational expressions. So for this one, let me copy x minus 3. And in here, I will factor out the negative. So I could rewrite it as x minus 3 as well. Quick check, negative times x, negative times negative 3 is positive 3. So this is another way of writing this one without changing its value. Now we can cancel x minus 3. Nothing is left. Oh, but remember, when nothing is left, it means there is an invisible one. So 1 in the numerator and 1 in the denominator. So we have 1 over negative 1 is simply negative 1. Remember that, huh? Whenever you canceled everything, it doesn't mean the answer is 0. The answer is 1. Okay, this is quite long. Let's start with the difference of two squares and the factors are quantity x minus 7 times quantity x plus 7. While this one is a trinomial, the factors are quantity x minus 9 times quantity x minus 7. This one is also a trinomial. This is a PST. Perfect square trinomial because the square root of x squared is x, the square root of 49 is 7, and 7 times x is 7x times 2 is 14x. So this is a PST. And the factors are quantity x minus 7 times quantity x minus 7. This is a trinomial. The factors are quantity x minus 9 times quantity x plus 7. Let us look for common factors. We have 1 here. And then we also have x plus 7 and x plus 7 here. We also have x minus 9 and x minus 7 here. So what is left when everything is canceled out? 1. So 1 in the numerator and 1 in the denominator. 1 divided by 1 is 1. Last one, we have difference of two squares, and the factors are quantity 4 minus x times quantity 4 plus x. While this one is a trinomial, and the factors are quantity x minus 4 times quantity x plus 2. I cannot simply cancel these two. They may look the same, but no, they are not. In here, x is negative. In here, x is positive. In here, 4 is positive. In here, 4 is negative. So to make this x minus 4, I have to factor out the negative sign. So let me do that. So negative of quantity x minus 4, then I'll just copy 4 plus x. Quick check. Distribute. This will be negative x. It's correct. And this one is positive 4. It's correct. Copy the denominator. Now they are exactly the same. So let us cancel them. So what is left is this negative and this polynomials here. So negative of x plus 4 all over x plus 2. For the summary, here are the things that we learned in this lesson. Take time to understand this. Now, it is time to check your understanding. Pause this video for more time. Let us answer. Let's start with the first one. In the numerator, we could factor out 3. Also, in the denominator, we could factor out 3. So this will become 3 times x cubed plus 8 for the numerator. Then this one, 3 times quantity x plus 2. We have common factor 3. Let us cancel them. So we have x cubed plus 8 all over x plus 2. But x cubed plus 8 is sum of 2 cubes that we could factor as well. And the factors of x cubed plus 8 are quantity x plus 2 times quantity x squared minus 2x plus 4. Let us copy x plus 2. We have common factors. Let us cancel them. So our final answer is x squared minus 2x plus 4. Next one, we can factor out 5 in the numerator. Let's do that. And you can see now that we have common factor 5 in numerator and denominator. Let us cancel them. Can we cancel x here? No, we cannot, because this is x minus 2 and this is just x. There is an operation between them. We cannot do that. So our final answer is x minus 2 over x. Now for this one, let us factor out 7 in our numerator. And let us factor out 6 in our denominator. And by doing so, we have a common factor that we can cancel out. So our final answer is just 7 over 6. Gets? Here are some extra problems for you to work on to master this lesson. Watch out for my next lesson as I reveal the correct answers. Our next lesson is multiplying rational algebraic expressions.